And welcome to another weekly update for 99 Club members. Apologies in my voice if you heard it before in the market update video, which you should always watch, by the way, before seeing this video. Watch the market update first. I've got a terrible cold at the moment, but here I am anyway. Good point. You must always look at the market update first, because in that I'll explain things like I'm not going to enter any new trades this week because I don't like the way the market's looking, and I said that last Sunday. So that was not a time to be getting into new trades. I had one email where someone was looking at getting into new trades when I had said last weekend that that's definitely not something I would be doing, especially when I talk about updating on a stock, for example, like this one, WB. I was in this trade down here. Okay, so when I'm giving an update on it and saying how impressed I am with it, when it's up here, that's not a new buy entry. That's not really a new buy point for me. This was the time when I'd be in that. So there's a cushion of profit in this moving ahead. So let's look at the action on Friday, as I discussed in the market update. So I won't go over it again. Pretty dramatic. But here's an indication of how good the stocks are that I'm trading, how strong they are and resilient, because the market, the overall market, looks like a total disaster. But if I home into some individual stocks, let's take MKTX, a trade I went to recently. Bizarrely enough, this one was actually up significantly on Friday. So there's a strong stock. If the whole market, as you saw there on Friday, takes an absolute dump, like indiscriminately, that was blind selling on Friday, and what it tells you is actually, by the way, is that there's a lot of weak money in the market right now. There's a lot of speculative money, a lot of worried money, a lot of dumb money, as it's called. And if it heads for the exits on the slightest whisper of a rate rise, then that this is a very speculative market anyway, and something I've been cautioning about for weeks now. But anyway, a strong stock like this, look what happened. This one, unusual, I admit, that one had actually gone up. So, and a good, you could pick great stocks just by looking at a day like Friday, and then look at how any stocks that got new highs that day, because that's a strong stock. If someone's using the opportunity to buy it. Let's look at another one. Let's look at the laggard first. DY, even though it's sold off, it's still only hitting support, and it wasn't on raised volume. So that's that's quite impressive for that stock. Still not going in the right direction, but everything's relative to the overall market on Friday. So that one's hanging in there. Stronger stocks. So I showed you WB. Now this is very impressive. Now look, there was all that selling volume, but look. Two things here. One, it didn't go down very much, and two, it closed at the middle of its range, not the bottom of it. So that's a strong stock. That's a resilient stock, and that's hanging in there. I'm not gonna, I've got a stop loss in there at around 45, I think, or something like that. But that's looking fine, despite all the chaos. Let's look at IART. This one didn't fare quite as well. It did drop, but not massively. Volume didn't raise that much, and you could argue there's kind of like a secondary level of support around here that's kind of holding that one in place. So still, even though we don't know what the week's going to hold, so I'm going to set a stop loss here of about 82. I think if that gets below the 50-day there, it's not going to be too happy. So there's that one, and we've also got AMAT. Another one, it dropped like everything else. It wasn't dramatic. It's still kind of hanging in there. I'm going to put a stop loss on this one around 28, and that'll still lock in some profits even then. AMBA. I was in this one around here, so there's profit in it. This one did sell off a little bit. It's kind of like a little support cushion there, though, so I'm going to just put a stop loss in there close to the entry point at around 62, I think. But as you can see, these drops aren't as drastic as some of the overall stocks, because we're picking stronger ones here. Another one was MU. Micron. And this one, when it's a aggressively rising stock like that, those drops like you saw on Friday are really just, as you can see there, all it's doing is coming back to its trend line. And you could argue that's actually a nice entry point that's been created there, subject to, I want to see what the overall market does. But you can see that there's no damage done to this stock's uptrend. It's still very much intact there. Keeping the stop losses in place. I'm not going to add any new recommendations. I'm going to see what the market does next. Gold is being extremely resilient, hanging around there. The support now is showing around about 125, as I've been talking about, and that's been tested a few times now. But we're not. And the gold miners looks like support has been sort of shown there around 25. So that's being tested again, but still not jumping back in yet, because we want to see just a little bit more definition there. We're going to go climbing. I want to see some good strong foot supports. That I think is all for this week, and there's nothing wrong with being in cash and your stop loss. That's what the stop losses are there for, to lock in profits, protect from losses, and we will see. Check the market update video, because it's what happens really Monday or Tuesday is important for the overall market. I'm not in a position to short this market just yet, but that depends on what happens over the next few days. If further weakness comes along. So that's all for this week, and speak to you next time.